Well, Deborah, thank you very, very much for this incredible opportunity. I'm super excited to see you on Zoom.
I know.
And in
Here we are,
Uganda,
Saturday afternoon. I'm on Clapham High Street. You are, where are you? Are you in Kampala or in Entebbe? Or
no,
something?
I'm in Entebbe. Actually, I live very near the airport. And
Right.
in Uganda, when we are excited to see someone, we say like this. That is,
Well, I know, yeah. I know your
yes.
emails have had that across the top, which is just really fabulous. But thank you so much for joining me. I mean, we're here today because we really want to talk about your company, Women Tour Uganda, and a little bit about what you're doing, why you founded this company. I am so excited to be joining you in December to go trekking with you to see gorillas. But I know that you're in the Solo in Style group, and I am just amazed how much gorilla trekking has come up as a subject in the group in like the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. It feels like every week somebody's asking about it.
I must say, I think I understand why it comes up all the time in the group, because once someone goes to see the gorillas,
right,
it's an experience that you can't afford to keep to yourself.
Right.
You want to tell everyone about it, of how the experience was.
Right.
So I really understand the ladies. And besides, coming to Uganda is extremely exciting.
Right.
For many of the ladies that have come to Uganda, I've seen most of them cry. Right. It's like a beautiful gold that is hidden under the ground that not so many people know about.
Right.
So that's why I think Uganda is coming up, because when people come, they're surprised, oh my God, this is here. I didn't know about it. Right. So I think I understand the solo women.
Right.
Yes.
I was Googling a few facts about Uganda because I was thinking I find some kind of interesting things, and I honestly, it's just amazing what you find. I did not know, I mean, obviously you do, that Uganda is the largest landlocked country by population. So
yes, we have.
You're right in the middle of East Africa. So which countries surround Uganda, for those who don't know?
Oh, our immediate neighbor is Kenya.
Right.
We have Kenya. We do have Rwanda. We do have Tanzania. We also have South Sudan.
Right.
And some of our neighbors, we share the biggest lake called Lake Victoria.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So Uganda is landlocked, but we have a lot of water bodies within the country.
Yeah.
We have so many rivers, and allow me brag, we even have the source of the Nile. It comes from Uganda.
Wow, that didn't come up when I Googled. That didn't come up. The other thing that came up was it is the best setting for seeing adventurous wildlife and going on wildlife safaris. And we can talk about, because I know we're going to talk about the gorillas, but you also have lots of other wildlife to see. And of course, the third fact was that it's one of the few places on Earth where you can go trekking and see the mountain gorillas. So so I would with all of these kind of fabulous these wonderful things happening in Uganda, I'd love to understand kind of where you came from with your motivation to start Women Tour Uganda. And I know you look at solo female travelers, and it'd be great to understand why you decided to do
that. Thank you very much, Deborah, for that question. I must admit that Uganda is one of the best countries if you're dreaming of wildlife.
Right.
If you want to see wildlife, because first we have so many national parks in Uganda. It's like you can come from this place to this place to the other place. So you can spend around 21 days within Uganda, and every single day you're having something different.
Right.
Totally different scenarios, different wildlife, different experiences. However, I personally, Irene Nalwoga, why we chose to do women travelers, mainly the solo women travelers. I am a solo traveler.
Right.
I have been to different countries traveling by myself.
Right.
Mainly I travel for business, and I noticed that most of the women wanted to visit Uganda, mainly the solo women, but they didn't have anyone to travel with. And to be honest with you, coming to Uganda is very expensive when you're traveling alone.
Right.
So we started our business in 2011, and we were doing general safaris. So in 2016, we decided to focus on the solo women market.
Right.
The fact that I was a solo traveler, I knew what to experience, the fears, because to be honest, it's totally different coming from Uganda,
Right.
a small country, and then you're going to the big streets of Canada, UK.
Right.
It's quite
I
intimidating.
can imagine. Yeah. Yeah.
It takes a lot of courage for
Right.
a solo man to say, okay, I admit I'm maybe in my 40 or 50. My children don't want to travel with me. My husband is not a traveler. Well, I don't have anyone to travel with. My friends are not in position to travel. Where can I go? And you say, I'm just going by yourself. It takes huge courage. That's why I really, really applaud the solo women travelers. So we decided to focus on that niche. And then we're like, come on, we're not going to just do general safaris that everyone is doing. Let's do something that is in line with the solo women. So we decided to set up departure dates, where scheduled dates where one woman can book from Australia, UK, US, Canada, Europe, Asia, anywhere. And you come on the same safari, meet other women, you go on the same safari together. Through this process, we found that many women make friends from them. And some of them, I'm lucky, they send me messages. Irene, guess what? We are going to on this trip with this. You remember the lady we met? So you find that the person who has been traveling alone even gets a friend from a group. And they can actually go on trips together. And also when I compare the prices in terms of, Deborah, you're picking up your bag, coming to Uganda for a solo trip in a Land Cruiser by yourself with a driver and guide. You, for 14 days, you pay quite a lot, like maybe $13,000. But when you're joining a scheduled departure, a woman will pay around $7,000. So it is price friendly, it is safe, and it also gives a sense of community to the solo women travelers. I've had an opportunity of meeting so many women, and most of them have become their friends. Even when I travel, they're like, oh, when I
come and visit. Yeah, I can imagine. Well, you're such a friendly person. I mean, we've been emailing for a while, and gosh, it comes over everything. I mean, not only are you friendly and very encouraging, which is amazing for everybody, not only solo female travelers, but anybody, but also you are so thorough in all the information that you have on your website, B, that you have sent me already for my December departure with everything I need to do. I've already had my yellow fever vaccination a couple of weeks, I've done all of that. I need to get you help, and you get it all kind of taken care of in a really easy to understand information. So you make it really, so it kind of, like you say, if you're a little bit nervous about traveling on your own, I mean, because going to anywhere on your own, but for many people, including myself, to go to Uganda on my own, and then wanting to kind of trek with the gorillas, I would not feel comfortable doing it unless I was in a group with someone like yourself who was taking me and leading me. And of course, I know everybody has to have a guide, but so I mean, I think it's amazing. And what I will do, Irene, is when I post up the video, I'll put all of your departure dates underneath, so that ladies who are looking at this can see. And it's good to know that you go this time every year and these dates, and they can sign up. So that's fantastic. So
thank you very much.
So I know from my trip that I have planned with you, of course, we are trekking to see gorillas, and we'll get onto that in a minute because I know it's really important. But for the rest of the time, what are we doing? I mean, you have amazing wildlife safaris, regular safaris in a Jeep.
I must admit, like, I will talk about the safari that you're going to do. You find that we'll go to Queen Elizabeth National Park, where Queen Elizabeth has a lot of lions, even tree-climbing lions. We have elephants, we have crocodiles. So the biggest activity in Queen Elizabeth is the game drive. And game drives and the boat cruises. So we go to the channel, and we see different animals that come by to drink water. It's like an experience that someone cannot even explain with their own words. Because
you
what I noticed,
yes,
you have to see it. What I've noticed is because I tend to go there a lot. Every time you go there, you'll be like, oh no, maybe today I should wait to pull out the camera. I'll take it at this moment. And then, oh my God, oh my God.
I know. I have to get some binoculars as well. That's on my list of things that I have to get for
exactly. So you find from from Queen Elizabeth, we'll go to Bwindi, the place that every woman is like, oh, to be honest with you, for me, it is my all place in Uganda because of the sceneries. I love the hills. I love seeing the forest on the hills.
Right.
They're not extremely high hills whereby you're like, oh, I can't climb that. It's doable. Right. So I like the sceneries in Bwindi a lot. And also having the eye-to-eye contact with the gorillas. That one is something that I cannot trade for anything. Exactly. Yeah. So from there, we go to Lake Bunyonyi.
Right.
Lake Bunyonyi has incredible views in Lake Bunyonyi. And our last stop is in Lake Emburo, where we see the zebras, we see zebras, and also there is a beautiful lake for bird watching. But Lake Bunyonyi's name is called Bunyonyi in Luganda is called birds.
Oh, so right. Oh, okay.
There's so many birds in Lake Bunyonyi.
Ooh, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a relaxing place. So you find that by the time you do the 8 days, you have experienced so much
wildlife
within the place. Exactly. Yeah. But I'll talk to you about the 14 days, like how far it is. 14 days, you go up to Murchison Falls National Park.
Right.
And then from there, you go to Chivale and you trek the chimpanzee. Then you go back to your safari, the 8 days. You connect to Elizabeth.
Right.
And you do Mugahinga, where there are the other gorillas and golden monkeys.
Right. Yeah, because I'm actually doing 8 days. So I'm not doing the chimpanzees, although now I'm thinking I should. Anyway, it's too late. I booked my flight. But
let's
talk about the gorillas, because this is what, of course, makes it so special. And Uganda is one of the very few places that you can see. So a lot of questions in the group from ladies who are looking at doing this. And the number one thing that they want to know sort of generally is, how fit do they have to be? How far do you have to trek? Do you need, obviously we all need walking boots and we need to have long sleeves and, but
yes.
Is it so strenuous that we have to train for 6 months before we come, or?
No.
Okay.
Okay. I have seen that question pop up a lot in the community. And thanks a lot to the ladies in Solo in Style who have been posting that question.
Right.
But to mainly answer this question to all the ladies in Solo in Style, gorilla trekking is doable.
Right.
Gorilla trekking is a must do for any lady who is adventurous, for any lady who wants to see something that is beyond words.
Right.
You can see an elephant. I love elephants. Right. But when you go to gorilla trekking, for me, it's like a one-on-one personal interaction. Because mainly to answer the question of how difficult or should I be fit, we have 2 ways you can trek gorillas. The first way is you walk to the gorillas. But the secret to that is you have got to be very, very honest with your health. Talk to me, tell me, Irene, I have this limitation. I won't be able to do this. Because when you talk to the guides at the Uganda Wildlife Authority, you tell them, I have this guest, this is what she's going through. We would love to get something that is a little bit easier.
Right.
They'll put us on a group for easier because they divide us in 2 groups.
Right.
So they separate us as per capability. As long as you're honest, don't pretend, because I know you know your strengths and your weaknesses. Just tell me, Irene, I would love to try the medium. The medium is very much doable. I think I've done the medium more than the easy one.
Right.
Because most of the ladies can do that. But even if it's the medium one, you will walk. Okay, yes, there are some small hills that you climb, but not all the places you're climbing all the way. No. Because when someone sees the photos, someone is like, or someone is like, oh, those hills are intimidating. I'm going nowhere.
Right.
But I have been there. I've done it like 30 times in my life. But to be honest with you, every time I go to the gorillas, it's a different experience.
I'm sure it is, because it's wildlife, so it's never going to be the same. Exactly. They have their babies. I mean, they're depending on what time of year you go to, right?
Exactly. But to be honest with you, to answer that question, I have been lucky enough to host ladies of 85 years.
Well, there you go. So it's really open to everyone.
Yes.
But your point about being honest, I say this to people no matter what they're doing on their own, because you have to be honest with your mobility and your strength and also your desire to do these things, because there's no point telling them, saying you can walk 20 miles if you can only walk 2, because you are going to end up disappointed and the group will be too. So no matter what you do when you're traveling solo, I think you have
just to mainly explain that little bit. Okay, they shouldn't worry. We'll be divided into groups.
Right.
Those who want the difficult one, the longer walks, and those who want the easier ones. But even if yes.
Sorry, I'm so sorry I interrupted you. You probably were just going to answer what I was going to say. I was going to say, but you still have the same guerrilla experience, I guess, irrespective of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So for the easy one, you could find that we could walk for 40 minutes or 1 hour, depending on where the gorillas are.
Right.
We reach the gorillas, we see them for 1 hour.
Yeah.
Also, the ones who have walked for 2 hours or 3 hours going to see the gorillas, they'll still see them for 1 hour when they find them.
Right.
So the difference is the easier one, the one where if you have a back issue, you have a leg issue, because most of the guests that have hosted who have such challenges, maybe it's they have a medical issue.
Right.
And so we see them for 1 hour, then we come back. Right. We come back again within 1 hour, after like maybe 40 minutes. So that is the easy one. The medium one, we can walk for like 2 hours. We find the gorillas, see them for 1 hour, then we come back for 2 hours. And just to let you know, we even have the opportunity of you being carried on a stretcher.
Oh my goodness. Oh, well, that's great to know though, isn't it? It's good to know that you can be carried on a stretcher.
So in case, exactly, in case you're traveling, maybe you're in a wheelchair, or you have really a serious medical condition.
Absolutely.
And you're like, Irene, I want to see the gorillas, but I don't want to do this walk.
Right.
Can they carry me to the gorillas? Yes, we have that service, and it's charged by the Uganda Wildlife Authority. It's organized within the community, and they charge just $300.
Right, that's great to know. That's really
take you there and to bring you back.
Fantastic.
But then there is a must-have for us who do the walking.
Right.
You have to make sure you go with a porter.
Right.
They charge just $20, but these gentlemen and women are very, very resourceful. Because if you don't go with one, you may reach a time and you want someone to hold your hand and you jump maybe a small stream of water, and you need someone to help you do that.
Right.
You need someone to help you carry your bag when you've gone with the food and all that.
Right.
So I always recommend going with a porter, and for our safaris, it is a must-have. Because you also have the community that are neighboring the park to give them something to
absolutely do, supporting everybody. No, and in fact, I have read that many times in the group with people who've been and said you absolutely need to have a local porter. This is great. This is really good, and I think that's kind of one of the overwhelming questions that I keep hearing about is how fit do I have to be? So that's fantastic. I mean, that's really kind of helped answer that question. And I know there are lots of other things and that you have in your kind of Q&A about going to the loo and what do you do if you need to stop and all of this kind of stuff. But hopefully I still have you. I feel like you've frozen a little bit.
Hello.
Oh, you're back. You're back.
Yes.
Great.
Sorry about it.
No. It just shows that we're live, right? We're live. So you provide all the information that anyone can. That's fantastic. And of course, security is a big issue. I know that we're very safe when we're in your hands and we're staying with you and you're looking after us. And you obviously take care of all the accommodation and everything really from the minute we arrive, I guess, right?
Yes. And also, I noticed many ladies have this question in the community. Is it safe?
Yes.
Is it safe to come to Uganda? Yes. Honestly, I am living in Uganda all my life. No one has killed me.
No, I think it's great that you address that because, of course, number one for anybody, let alone for a solo female, is being safe. And I think it's fantastic that you address that.
Yes, it's very important to address safety because personally, as a woman who lives in Uganda, and I live alone even in my house,
right?
I value safety. I have to feel safe in my mind. I have to feel safe in my heart. I don't want to live on the edge.
Right.
So I really understand the ladies in Solo in Style asking about this question. to be honest with you, Uganda is very safe.
Yeah.
The only issue, safety caution that I'll point out is Uganda at night, we don't have street lights. We don't have so many street lights.
Right.
So when it is dark, and most of the neighborhoods don't put lights outside the places. So you'll find that most of the places are dark, pitch black.
Yeah.
So if you are a solo traveler and you're traveling on your own, coming from anywhere, you're not using women tour Uganda, you're coming by yourself. It's very, very important to mind where you're moving in the night.
Right.
Because in every country, you can never know what is in the
well,
night.
absolutely. But the streets of London are not that safe at nights either. So anywhere.
Exactly.
But that's
so
why
the
really
fact that we don't have lights.
Right.
Yes. Yes. The fact that we don't have lights on the streets, I recommend most of the ladies to plan your programs and activities in that you don't go beyond 8.
Right.
And if you're to ever find yourself, more so to the ladies who want the nightlife and you're traveling on yourself, if you're to ever find yourself that you want to go out, use a cab, let them take you to the place, someone trustable, and let them pick you from that place and drop you back home.
Yeah.
During that day, oh my God, Uganda is very, very safe. Forget about any of the things that they read about the internet and all that. Because for us who live in the country, we know and we live here.
Yeah.
I've lived here all my life. So the country is safe.
Yep.
We've not had any of those major huge wars. And also where we stay in the different national parks. The different national parks, all of those places, they have security, personnel, and the places are safe. Yeah. And we are always in our Land Cruisers. During day, you can never get any fear. Personally, I prefer to travel during day.
Of course.
That's why all our safaris, we make sure by 7, we are in our hotels rested.
Yeah, yeah.
Relaxing.
And
because you don't want to.
It's great that you look after all of those details for your guests. Yes. So I mean, you're the expert. So it's good that we can trust you to make sure that you know where to go and at what time to go. And so this is fantastic. Yeah. So I am so looking forward to visiting Uganda. I have been to Africa a couple of times previously, but I've never been to Uganda, and I haven't been to Africa for a long time. So I'm really excited. All the things that I think about Africa generally, and of course it's a huge continent, so you can't make these sweeping statements. But I personally have always thought of amazing food. I mean, of course, the wildlife, we've been talking about that, but the hospitality, the food, just the kindness and generosity of the people that you meet. And I think you also have some unusual souvenirs that we can buy and take home from when we come to Uganda, right?
Exactly. I must say that there is no way I can talk about my beautiful country without talking about the people.
Right.
The most unique thing that makes Uganda outstanding from all the African countries is the culture.
Right.
We have more than 50 tribes in Uganda, and each tribe does things differently. We cook differently, we dress up differently, we raise our children differently, we marry differently. So for the ladies who come on our safaris, of course, we'll share with you all that, because when you're doing the safaris, you're like, okay, now this region, we have these people, this is what they do, this is how they live, this is what they do. But the most unique thing about Uganda that I find mind-blowing is every national park you go to, it's a different tribe.
Wow.
Different language completely, different food and all that. So personally, I find that is a unique thing that you can't find in other countries, because for people, and also naturally the whole of the world, even if you go eat, Uganda is known for the most friendliest people.
There you go. Yeah, I'm so excited.
We are very friendly.
Yeah. Well, I certainly got that from our discussions, our emails, everything. It's just you are always appear and are so friendly and hospitable, and always really happy to kind of help with questions. And as I say, I'm really looking forward to experiencing all of that. And the food for me is a big thing too. I'm a real foodie, so I can't wait. I didn't realize about the different tribes at each of the parks. So, and do you have a big variety of food in Uganda, or do you all kind of generally have the same kinds of recipes, and they're just slightly tweaked depending on where you are?
In Uganda, we are called the food basket of Africa.
Right.
Yes, we have a lot of food. And the most unique thing about our country is all our food is fresh.
Right.
Most of the houses don't have fridges in Uganda, so we rarely keep our food in fridge. We get
Right.
it from the garden and we cook it and eat it.
Right.
However, like people in the central, or mainly before I forget, I would like to address also another question that I've seen in the group, like
Yeah.
the ladies who ask about, I'm vegetarian.
Right.
I halal. That one I think is a major when it comes to the food, since it's what we are talking about.
Right.
In Uganda, we have a lot of vegetables because everywhere you go, you can just throw something and it will grow.
Fabulous.
So for vegetarian clients, as long as you let us know early enough, Irene, I'm vegetarian. I don't eat this. I eat this portion of this. So all of that will be taken care of. All the hotels are well trained. They know how to take care of the vegetarian guests.
Fabulous.
And another surprising thing about Uganda, which I'm so grateful to, I think that was mainly put up by thanks to President Idi Amin.
Right.
All our meat is halal in Uganda. So it's mainly Muslims who cut our meat in Uganda.
Right.
Yes, at the butchers. So for the ladies who had that question about halal, Muslim, all of that is well taken care of.
Wow.
But you find that, for example, I am a Muganda and I come from the central. So you find that we eat matoke in Uganda, like our staple food.
I'm going to Google that when we're done because I don't know what that is. But yeah, I'm very
exactly. Yeah, so we eat matoke, and I will insist, Deborah, when you come in December, please test even if it is a spoon of matoke. You give me your feedback.
Will eat everything. Honestly, I try absolutely everything. There really is not one thing I don't like to eat, honestly. And I really, eating local food is a huge part of my traveling experience.
Oh, thank you for warming my heart. So different regions, you'll be going testing part of that food, and you give me your feedback after it all. So you find in the Eastern, they eat different food, totally different food. Then in the Northern, it is still completely different food. In the Western region, where the gorillas and where we'll be Western, they also eat totally different food.
Right.
So if someone is a foodie like Deborah, I really think Uganda is a great place to visit.
Can't wait. So listen, Irene, on that note, I'm going to just say thank you so much because I feel like we've just covered so much stuff. I could chat to you for hours. And I will when I finally meet you. It will be great. But I just wanted to kind of speak with you on Zoom and record it so that I can post this in the group. And a lot of ladies, they may not be looking to go to Uganda, but even if they're not, I'm sure they'll find it really interesting to just kind of learn a little bit about your country and your customs. But of course, anybody who does want to go, then there's a lot of information that we covered. And as I said, I'll post all the links kind of in my YouTube and also in the group so that everybody can find. So thank you so much, Irene. It's been an absolute joy. I can't wait to finally meet you in person. It won't be long now.
Oh, thank you very much, Deborah. I can't say bye-bye to you without telling you that we say, Wevalenyo Deborah, Wevalenyo Deborah. It means thank you very, very much for this incredible opportunity.
Oh, my goodness, you are more than welcome. I'm going to learn that before I come. So thank you so much.
Exactly.
And we will stay in touch. And thank you for jumping in every time I tag you and people talk about Uganda. I see you jump in and answer questions. So hopefully you'll be having some more ladies from the group really soon.
Oh, we'll be so glad to host them. And the ladies in Solo in Style, we look forward to host you and we'll be ready to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.